Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the inside scoop on filmmaking quality and content. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Mother Couch. Interesting name, right? This dramatic allegory is now playing in select theaters and will release on streaming on September 13th, 2024. The film is rated R. It's an hour and 36 minutes, and my overall movie review mom grade is a B plus. But fair warning, this is kind of an artsy fartsy film and not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But I'll give you a list of things that I liked, things that I didn't like, an overview in a nutshell. I'll point out tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and recommendations for other films that I think are sort of similar that you might also really like. Okay, so starting off in a nutshell, this mind expanding story is about three children who are adult children, I should say, adults who are their siblings, who are brought together when their mother refuses to move from a couch in a furniture store. The surrealistic film was written and directed by the young Nicholas Larson. He's only 34 years old, so kudos to him. In an interview, he explained that there's a difference between entertainment and cinema. He stated that in cinema, you feel what the protagonist feels, while in entertainment, you're presented with what you're supposed to feel. And I actually really like that distinction. You definitely feel what the protagonist is feeling in this movie. Now, also, the film begins and you think, what an odd scenario, but it feels real. And then stuff starts happening where you're like, what the heck is going on? And you realize there's symbolism involved. But I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. Already, the film has been nominated and won an award for Best Nordic Film due to the director's Swedish country of origin. So, quick tips for parents. Kids are going to be extremely bored, and so will some adults, especially those that don't see the symbolism or just think it's bizarre and just dismiss it. There is profanity, including some F bombs. We see a naked woman in the shower, but she covers her chest with her hands. All right, so some of the themes that are definitely illustrated well are dysfunctional families, caring for aging parents, unresolved family issues, grief, and family trauma. So here's the list of things I really liked about this film. First of all, the quirky music at the very beginning of the movie during the rolling credits lets you know immediately that this film is going to be different. The first thing that we see on the screen are the words, quote, "It was all very simple. They were looking for a dresser. Blood wouldn't be spilt until later," end quote. And I just thought, that's such a great opening. That would be a great opening for a book. And this is not based on a book, but maybe the director will turn it into a book because he wrote the screenplay. I don't know. I adore Ewan McGregor in anything that he does, pretty much. He has a knack for choosing artsy and very different types of scripts. So here's another one. His accent is, of course, different from his siblings in the story and his mother's. And so it's explained that his father is a different father than from his siblings. And in fact, all three siblings have different fathers. He's such a terrific actor, and he does a really great job in this movie. Rhys Ifans' accent is also different, and so it's described that his father is from Wales, and that's where he gets his Welsh accent. I didn't even recognize Laura Flynn Boyle. In every scene that she's in, she pops a cigarette in her mouth and just has a big scowl on her face. It's been a really long time I've seen her in anything. Taylor Russell is absolutely darling in the film. And of course, legendary Ellen Bernstein stars as the titular mother. I would like to have seen more from her in this movie, but she's 92 years old. Her character is so unlikable in this as the mother by design. It's rumored that she accepted this role because she had never played a mother in her career who didn't want children. And you definitely get that vibe from her. I like the imagery of a couch, which is supposed to be warm and comfy, cozy, right? That's how we expect our mothers to be, right? In contrast, we see a very cranky and even a mean woman who never wanted to be a mother. Other cast members include Lake Bell and F. Murray Abraham, who actually plays twin brothers. I hadn't seen the trailer, so I didn't know anything about this movie before I watched it. It wasn't until Act 3 that I realized it is all symbolic. And it also is reminiscent of letting go of our parents, and also reminiscent of any emotional wounds that they may have caused us during our life. And for a lot of people, that could be substantial. Now, in Act 1, as I mentioned, I was like, okay, this is a odd but straightforward movie. And then in Act 2, I started seeing signs that I was like, wait a second, what's happening here? And then by Act 3, I was like, okay, maybe it took me a while. I mean, it did take me a while. I really related to the final scenes with the flooding and the rushing water. I had to say goodbye and bury three of my parents in 3 months last year. And at times, I absolutely felt like I was drowning in all of the medical and legal decisions that my siblings and I had to make, both before, during, and after their passing. This movie illustrates how heartbreaking and overwhelming all of that can be. And I'm finding so many movies about this theme have been released in the last 2, 3 years. And I think it's probably because our baby boomer parents or even grandparents, depending how old you are passing on and leaving a wake of sorrow and grief and unresolved issues and decisions that have to be made by the younger generations. And of course, those decisions aren't unique to today's younger generations. Everybody has to go through this, but it's becoming more mainstream, dare I say, in film to address these issues of dementia and aging and caring for our loved parents. Now, the very first shot that pans down as you see the camera looking down is the first glimpse that perspective is going to be a very big part of the film. So take that into account as you watch this. Now, there were only a few things that I listed as things I didn't like. First of all, the original scenario is just absurd. There are many clues that let you know that there is more to the story than meets the eye, and some viewers won't understand those layers. And so knowing ahead of time, as I keep saying, ahead of time that this is an artsy fartsy film before you see it will absolutely help you enjoy it more, and in fact challenge you to look for those things as you're watching the movie. And while some viewers are calling this a dark comedy, the director actually described this as a horror movie, which I thought was interesting. In an interview, the director said that it's okay to not like a film instantly after you watch it. And I think he was probably anticipating that some people just instantly dismiss it as garbage and weird and nutty and that kind of thing. What he wants viewers to do is to think about it before deciding whether or not they like it. And I think the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. Now, whenever I watch movies, I write down funny lines and interesting lines simply to share them with you so you can get a taste for the dialogue and the script writing quality and all of that. I did not write down any funny lines, even though there are quirky moments that are amusing, but it's more situationally than just down out, really funny, hilarious lines that make you laugh. I laughed on the inside. But I wrote down a lot of interesting lines. For example, Ewan McGregor's character says, it is what it is. And then Taylor Russell's character says, sometimes it isn't. And I thought that was such a great line because I think that line, it is what it is so dumb. Anyway, so I liked that. And another interesting line is spoken by Ellen Bernstein, who plays the mother. And she says, the fact is that you three, she's talking to the three kids, adults, you three are the result of men demanding my love. And I just thought, wow, what a horrible thing to say. And that's not the worst of the things that she says. Ewan McGregor's character says, life is too short to dwell on commodities that don't work. And the commodities is an interesting element of that phrase. What are the commodities? Is it families? Is it love? Is it people, situations? Is it the couch, the furniture, the scenario of life? I mean, you could spend some time talking about all the aspects of those types of things. And then another funny line is spoken by Taylor Russell. It's sort of funny, but also interesting, where Bella is the character, and she says, "You're doing good, though. I've seen a lot worse." As she's looking at this completely dysfunctional family, really struggling right before her eyes. Now, whenever I watch movies, I instantly think of other movies that are sort of similar that I want to recommend. And so the first one is another very artsy fartsy film called Tuesday. Really great performances and a very unusual look at life and death. So if you're up for it, I highly recommend that. And I just recently did a review. So you can watch the review and then decide what you think. And then another interesting movie is called Once Within a Time, also very artsy fartsy and related to time, which is also another theme of this particular video or movie, I should say. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully my reviews are helpful. And if they are, give them a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. You know the drill. All of those actions are free and they spread magical YouTube fairy dust on my channel so more people can discover my reviews and save time and money. When you get a minute, visit me on all the social media sites. I'm everywhere. Have a fantastic day and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.